So hello and welcome to this webinar on cyber training for your employees. This is a webinar, it's titled Around for Cyber Training, but it's much more just understanding the risks and what your teams should know and maybe how we can help them so that they don't accidentally do things that's going to cause issues to your business or just them as a user. Worst case scenario, they're going to get viruses and things on their machines, but worst case scenario, especially with so many of the different things today, they could end up actually taking down the whole business. So we don't want that to happen. So what is cybersecurity training and what do your teams need to know? We do have a Q&A at the end as well. So please do put your questions in the chat and then I'll try and answer as many questions as I can at the end. But the first thing to remember is that cybercrime is on the up. Knowing that, and also the impact that it has on different businesses and the way that cyber criminals are effectively trying to gain entry, it's not just brute force in terms of trying to get into your machine and you needing a firewall or antivirus. It's much more around they will try and trick people, they'll mimic them, especially with AI. It's really growing. So what is it that your teams need to know? The problem is they don't know what they don't know. So often they just assume that everyone out there is, a nice, friendly person, and even basics of things like, checking invoices and things. There's been a big thing around people logging into machines, changing invoice data. So all they'll do is they'll go in, they'll change your invoice template, update bank details with their bank details rather than yours. You then don't realize anything's happened. A month or two later, you realize that a load of invoices have been paid to the wrong bank account. So it's just real basics like that. But generally, it's all around the businesses. Well, first of all, your hardware and software, but your software is what can we do to ensure that your users are going to be using your software safely and that people won't be able to gain access. But what are the things that they need to know? Now, there literally are hundreds and hundreds of different types of attack that are happening, and they really need to know all of this. But the key is to give them short, sharp, regular training. Because if you don't, they will end up doing things that they think are perfectly fine when in actual fact, it could cause big issues. So for example, ransomware, telling them what it is, explaining them how it works, it just straight away, it means that they're just much more vigilant and they understand. Common attack types, IoT. Now, this is a really big one that people just don't understand. So IoT means Internet of Things. This is everything that is available online. So for example, a big way of how cyber attacks can happen is, let's say you've got an Alexa in the house or in the business. You then go and buy, let's say, some wall plugs to work with, whether it's Alexa, Google Home, any of the other ones. Well, normally what will happen is you'll get it out of the box and it will say download so-and-so app. Well, of course, you don't know if that app is clean, where it's from, anything. And of course, people are downloading apps all the time. But when you download certain software, whether it's on your machine, whether it's on your app, there could be a backdoor to it. There could be something else that's going on and you just don't know. And this is the big thing with people just don't understand the different ways that hackers will try and trick people. And these are constantly changing. So it's all about enabling your teams to be able to work really well and safely, but also not making, say stupid decisions. They just don't know. They didn't mean to do it. But most cyber attacks happen by employees accidentally doing something. And often they accidentally click, don't realize until the worst happens, and then they get loads of pop-ups, or maybe they don't realize they've done something, and then later on, things happen. So the key is all about regularly training them for all of these different types of things. So irregular training does not work. If you plan a cybersecurity training session, maybe you get in a trainer that's going to cost you, X amount of, say £1,000 a day to come in and train your staff. Well, great. They'll get a lot of knowledge out of that. The problem is that within a month or two, they'll then forget. They'll get complacent. They slip back into old ways. So it's all about creating training that is front of mind. Short, sharp training, layered in with spoof testing, is the key to keep your teams at the front of your defenses when it comes to cyber attacks, because email attacks are still the #1 way that breaches and attacks happen. So the way that the training works is that every month, every member of your team, including yourself, will receive one training video. So that's an email through, watch the training video. The training videos are between 2 and 5 minutes long. So they're really not that long. They're not much time out of their day. But this ensures that they're trained on what the potential attacks are, how the threats happen, and then they also stay up to date. So as the months go along, different types of cybercrime happens, different ways of hacking happens. They're going to constantly be trained on it. Also, just things like, the dangers of using public Wi-Fi, setups. There's loads of different areas. The second way, and this is the really powerful one, is spoof testing. So essentially, they will get tested every month. They'll get an email that is a fake email, and whether it's from Amazon or Barclays Bank or lots of ones out there. So what we do is we would send them that email. Now, hopefully they delete it because they spot that there's something not right with it. But if they do click on it and go to enter their credentials, it comes up and it says, this was a spoof email, you failed your test. They then need to watch a training video, then do a quick quiz. The quiz is important because it shows that they've watched the training video and understood it. They do a quick quiz. They get the answers right. It then says, great, you've passed. And they then carry on with the rest of their day. But them knowing that at some point they're going to get a spoof email means that they're just so much more vigilant all the time. And this is the thing. It's about those accidental mistakes that you're trying to get away from. So it's all about, to say, training is one aspect, but doing it in short, sharp, continuously every month, and also the spoof training so that they know it's coming. They don't want to be the one that clicks on it and then has to do the training. So they're just much more vigilant all the time, as opposed to just doing one big training session once a year. This is the key. So yeah, so it's really important. But that essentially is it. So what we can offer is, as I say, monthly training and testing so that it keeps all of your team fully up to date. But there's no onus on you. And we can also dovetail it in with your Microsoft licenses. So as and when you get new people, we can add them on. So it's really, really easy. So that's the main part. We have got a few questions that I can see that have come through. Say, if you did want any more information, you can email me direct on there. You can also find me on LinkedIn. So just straightforward LinkedIn, just Giles Cleverly, but also Syn-Star as a business. We're on all of the major social media platforms, and we're always putting out updates. Cybersecurity it's huge in terms of it's the biggest threat to a business. It surpassed physical threats. So there's more chance of you being broken into from a virtual cyber perspective than there is your building being broken into. So it really is all about how you can protect. Yes, you can protect from things like antivirus and anti-spams and lots of protection around your machines, but still your users are the biggest threat. So let's have a look what questions we've got. Right, so first one is how much does it cost? Great question. So we do it in different blocks essentially, depending on the size of your business. But let's say you've got a business of 20 people, anything up to 100 users, we charge £100 a month, and that includes all the emails, So a training email and a spoof email. Also then access to our vault, where we've got over 100 videos in there. And as I say, that's £100 just per month, and that includes all of your users as and when you replace users. So yeah, so it's really is cost effective. Right, next question. How long does it take each user? So in terms of the setup and everything, we very much do that. So it's very minimal impact from that. In terms of the users per month, as I say, the videos are between kind of 2 and 5 minutes long. So that's all it would take from a training perspective. And then if they spot the spoof email and delete it, which is what we want them to do, then that's it. It's really simple. If they do click on the spoof email, then say they'll need to watch a video, which is, again, up to about 5 minutes. Do a quick quiz to show that they've watched the video, and then they carry on with their day. So from a time perspective, it's really efficient. Next, we have multiple virtual people. Can you cover them? Yes. So anyone with an email address, you give us the email addresses, we can manually add them onto our system. They will then dovetail in with the rest of the people, but we don't send the emails at the same time. So when we send the spoof email, they go out spread across usually around a 5-day period. So because otherwise, if everyone got it at the same time, someone that receives it, they then say to their colleague, oh, watch out, there's one that's just come through. So we purposely do it separately. Next question, is there a minimum number? No, but there is a minimum cost for the platform. So but generally, 5 employees upwards, it's particularly cost effective. How many training videos do you have? We've currently got 108 training videos, and they will continue to grow as new attack vectors come out. So more attacks that come out, more weird and wonderful ways that the attackers are trying to trick people. We'll keep bringing out extra videos. How easy is it to start and administer? So Syn-Star effectively does it all, really. We do, if you don't have your emails and things with Syn-Star, then what we do is we send you a whitelist, basically where we send the emails from, certain IP addresses and other information. So we send you that for you to upload if you've got Microsoft 365 or you've got an anti-spam product, just to make sure that all of the emails will go straight through that and land in people's inboxes. It's no good if it's being, brought out as spam. So yeah, so we'll make sure that they always get whitelisted and then get delivered. But then, as I say, you can get the reports as well as to who clicked on the wrong thing. The way that it works best isn't to chastise people if they do click on the wrong thing. The way it works best is just so that they know it's coming, so it just stays front of mind. That's the real power of the training. So, but yes, it is really simple to get set up. So, okay, have we got any other questions? I think that's all of the questions so far. So, so yeah, okay, well, thanks a lot for your time, everyone. We do lots of these different webinars, so do check us out online, check out our website. You can also sign up for the different websites. Also on our website, we do have the Learning Centre, so we're very strong when it comes to just loads and loads of free resources, free training on there. So whether it's different templates, whether it's different webinars, lots of different blogs and information. So do check us out on there or any of our social media channels. And thank you very much for your time.